Watch what's approaching, the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
What's good? For today's video, I want to bring back the Majin Buu Saga category team setup and just test out the newest stage on the Infinite Dragon Ball History event, which is the youth category. And I figured it would be a good occasion to kind of revisit this category because of some of the units that have been introduced as of late on Dokkan Battle JP. So we're just going to test out. Of course, it's the 120% lead, so not optimal by any means, considering we do have leader skills that can provide either attack, defense, or HP levels of 170% increase based on the leader skill. So it is quite a bit of a decrease in terms of like overall boost. But with that being said, I wanted to check out how the team with some of the newer units included would perform with this type of setting. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I do appreciate you guys checking out each of my videos, so definitely thanks for checking it out today as well. I want to talk about a few of the highlighted units, so I think we'll go ahead and start off with the obvious choice of the Dokkan Fest Transforming Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. This unit is certainly a little bit weird to utilize. It's kind of it's really hard to explain. It's a really fun unit to run, and you really won't get the most out of this unit until you get to that Super Saiyan 3 status. Of course, with the Super Saiyan version of Gotenks, you're looking at a lot of play with chances, essentially of the increase in attack and defense. So it's a lot of percentage based RNG around that, and it's almost hard to find out if all the passives are active in that rotation or not. However, once the unit does get to a Super Saiyan 3 state, I mean, you really do start seeing how powerful this unit actually is, especially since instead of the high chance of whatever percentages toward attack and defense, you pretty much get a flat attack and defense increase of 100% plus that additional attack increase of 100% when performing a super attack. Along with that, you get the key +3, great chance of launching additional super attacks for 4 turns, basically from the start of the turn within the transformation. So a very interesting unit indeed. A super attack is also pretty nice. Haven't personally tested this unit on the Super Battle Road setting, but high chance of stunning the enemy is certainly one that can apply a lot of damage in terms of like clearing through the battle, along with greatly raising attack and defense for 3 turns. So definitely a very, very solid unit. The other one I want to talk about is the Transforming Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. Of course, transforms into Majin Vegeta, and the Fallen 2 units, along with this guy and Goku, I personally do like these units a lot. It's a lot of fun to run these guys, and the categories are also pretty entertaining to run, to say the least. Now both of these guys, and I guess I can kind of talk about them both at the same time, but both of these units, the amount of the passive that activate is based on the amount of key spheres obtained. So with the 3 or more key spheres obtained, you're getting an attack and defense increase of 30% when performing super attack. That's pre-transformation, and then once you get into the Majin Vegeta state, at least for this guy, you do get effective attacks against all types with 3 or more key spheres obtained. And then what's even better is with 6 or more key spheres obtained, guard activated against all attacks as well. So effectively attacking and guarding, it's a pretty nice solid combo. Along with that, you do get a pretty decent attack and defense increase of 120%, and then also depending on the HP levels, you get a defensive boost or attack boost. So very interesting setup there. And the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku that starts off as the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku, all similar in a way, slight differences. Basically, you get that 120% attack and defense boost, and then you also get that defense and attack boost of up to 77% depending on the HP level. So it's kind of like flipped with the Majin Vegeta. The higher the HP levels, the better the defensive boost is. When the lesser the HP is, the greater the attack boost. So it's almost like 2 different setups, and it does kind of change how you sometimes run the rotation in a way. So along with that, basically you do get Chance of evading enemies' attacks by 33% increase, plus an additional attack and defense increase of 33% with three or more key spheres obtained. And then also attacks effective against all types with 6 or more key spheres obtained. So pretty solid unit. I like to run these guys a lot lately since I did, finally obtain copies of them. So both the Majin Vegeta and the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku have 1 dupe each, and then the Gotenks unit actually does as well. So yeah, it's pretty interesting there. I guess the one thing right with this team is I've run into and noticed an issue with some of the key issues, right? Sometimes the rotations aren't really the best of setups to where it doesn't necessarily guarantee you that every single unit on that rotation gets a super attack. So of course, like, you could bring in supporting type units. In this case, I really didn't. I just had a very specific team I wanted to run, so I didn't bring any support. But looking back on it in hindsight, I think a great option for that would have been the strength type Great Saiyaman, so the Super Saiyan version. Of course, with this guy, he's actually a pretty powerful unit himself. The ability for stacking attack based on the super attack and also greatly lowering defense with the super attack. But the passive skill, you get a pretty good boost of 120% with attack and defense. High chance of stealing the attacked enemy's super attack for 2 turns. Along with that, the Majin Buu Saga category allies get a key +2 attack and defense increase of 30%. So pretty solid option in terms of a supporting role. I think that actually would help some of the other units on the rotation make sure or ensure that they get a super attack. Now, with all that being said, the other highlighted note is the Kid Trunks. Of course, with the Dokkan Awaken finally happening with this unit, this guy became very, very good. I've actually been running this guy a lot ever since the Dokkan Awakening was available. Him along with the Goten unit, I run them, alongside each other quite a bit. I mean, they're just that good. I mean, defensively, they are able to cut out so much in damage. I mean, and offensively, they're able to put out on a proper setup. You're looking at on average like 2.5 million, and it could be more than that depending on the rotation. But very, very phenomenal units. I could see them being very, very useful. The reason why you're seeing that unit linked up with the LR Gohan and Goten is the LR Gohan and Goten unit actually does satisfy the criteria for Trunks' secondary passive. So he gets a further decrease in damage. Damage reduction based on having a Goten or a Krillin unit on the rotation. So that kind of fulfills that criteria and does help out quite a bit. And of course, the more damage you can mitigate, the better. So that's pretty much the way I look at it. So overall, this is only a 120% lead with the Super Vegito units, but they're actually performing quite well. The one thing I do want to note that I ran into is trying to forcefully build up Vegito's attack based on receiving attacks. So like I found myself in the earlier parts of the battle like forcing him to get attacked, even though I necessarily didn't want that unit to be on a particular spot in the rotation. It's just kind of like has more long-term value to go ahead and get those damages out of the way and build up the offense a little bit faster and then kind of reap the benefits of it later on. So that's pretty much one of the things I noticed when I ran this team. But outside of that, it's not too bad. I mean, it's 2 of these units are dependent on the amount of keys. So of course, like in order to maximize their passes, you want to obtain 6 or more keys. So if you have both on the same rotation, sometimes you're not going to get that lucky. So I think at the very minimum, getting at least a minimum of 3 key spheres obtained will be reasonable. I think getting 6 key within both the units every rotation, that's kind of a tall order, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's the way I would look at it. So I feel like there's a lot of attacks coming up against Super Vegito here, but we'll see. I don't even remember what exactly happened here, but we'll see what happens, I suppose. I know these guys are coming to global very soon, and I know the general rule of thumb is to save for the 5-year anniversary coming up in July for Global's version of the 50-year anniversary celebration. But These guys are definitely very, very solid units. The one thing I can say is both units are very fun to run, and the categories that you can run them on is pretty fun. I keep saying that word, but it really just comes down to an enjoyable experience, I guess, for me. And then Majin Vegeta has the Super Saiyan 2 category with the Resurrected Warriors. The Goku has a little bit of a weirder category split where it's the Otherworld Warriors and the Super Saiyan 3 category. But either way, I mean, they can be ran on a diverse set of categories, and at the end of the day, it just comes down to whether you have fun or not. I guess for me, what sold it the most is their amazing card art. Like the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta just has probably one of the nicest card arts I've seen in a while. So that alone kind of, is a mass appeal to me. So I guess, maybe partially, my bias toward that is based on that as well. I guess on that note, I'll close out by saying this. The youth category stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history, it's a pain to run and clear the missions both at the same time, where you have to bring in the youth category units, I think, and then the world tournament units. I ended up doing that, but let me tell you, it was not fun at all. I really had to dig down to some of the units I don't really use much in order to fulfill that criteria. So for those that are planning to do that, yeah, have at it. It's not too enjoyable, I can say. But yeah, this is pretty much the revisiting of the Majin Buu Saga category setup against the newest stage of the Infinite Dragon Ball history event. They actually did quite well, a lot better than I would think initially. So yeah, I mean, there were tricky situations here and there, but overall it was a pretty smooth run. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.